Hello, and welcome to part 7 of my Heaven's Fear playthrough. In the last episode we have done some stuff with, well, a lot of people. Tosaka, we got a favor point, affection point. Ilya, we met her again. Had a talk with her, and then a lot of stuff with Sakura, and then basically the gist of the story is that Shirou asks Sakura to stay over at his place so she can stay outside of the Holy Grail stuff because, well, Shinji is not really, well, considerate of his sibling, of his sister. And is probably going to drag her into the war in some kind of way, and he took pre-measures to take care of it. And we left off with the well, with Saber and Shirou heading out for another expedition in the dead of night. We're probably going to Ryoto Temple. So let's continue. Where's the master at Ryoto Temple? According to Tosaka at least, she said not to mess with them because they're trouble. But they're apparently behind the comas happening all over town. I don't know if it's true, but I think it's worth checking out.
そうですね。確かに竜道寺に至る霊脈に作為的なものを感じます。あの山にマスターがいることに間違いはないでしょう。
Yes, I do feel that the ley lines leading to Ryoto Temple are being deliberately manipulated. There's a little doubt that the master is taking up refuge there. What's wrong, Saber? Somehow you don't seem very enthusiastic compared to yesterday.
はい。あの山はサーバントにとって鬼門です。
Yes, it's best if servants avoid that mountain.
軽はずみな進行は避けたい。
I would rather not make a hasty assault on it. Then should we hold off patrolling tonight and gather a little more intel on Ryoto Temple? Because you're right, it would be reckless to go in there without knowing anything about the servant or master.
いいえ、その必要はありません。竜道寺に今日構えるようなマスターならば、おいそれと正体を明かさないでしょう。早々に決着をつけるのならば、正面から力で打ち破るのみです。
No, it won't be necessary. A master who has made Ryoto Temple their base is unlikely to expose themselves. If you wish to settle accounts with them quickly, then the only way is a frontal assault. Yeah, that worked out not good in one of the routes. If Saber says so, then we probably have a chance of victory. I'd also like to stop the master from putting any other more townspeople into comas as soon as possible. Alright, let's go to Ryoto Temple. But Saber, we're only going there to scout it out. Once we learn who the master is and which servant they have, we fall back. I know it's lame, but I can't back you up if you are there. If you are out there. I'd rather err on the side of caution. I can't let Saber get hurt, like that time with Berserker. But since I can't help her in the fight, I have to protect her in a different way.
わかりました。最終的な判断はシローに委ねます。戦闘か退却かはあなたが決めてください。
I understand. I will leave your final decision of whether to fight or retreat up to you. I'm happy to hear that, but it's scary. Even if the enemy turns out to be someone we can't beat, I'm liable to turn tail and run.
なるほど。そういった場合も考えられますね。シローは戦闘経験が少ないですから。
I see. That could indeed happen. You lack the combat experience after all. Yeah, no denying that. I'd like to avoid stepping into a figurative minefield, so I'd appreciate it if you gave me a fair warning.
はい。 では、シローが判断を誤ったときは、私から忠告を。
Very well. Then I will warn you if you make a wrong decision.
もちろん、それではシローのためになりませんから。シローの判断が間違えていた場合、何らかのペナルティを負ってもらうことにしましょうか。
Of course, that won't help you grow. So, in the event that you do make a mistake, why don't we consider some sort of penalty? Penalty? What kind of penalty specifically?
さあ、それを口にしてはつまらない。数少ない楽しみですから、私だけの秘密としましょう。
Why, telling you would spoil the surprise. It's one of my few pleasures I have, so I will keep it to myself for now. Saber seems to be making a joke. Maybe it's Fujine's influence. I sure hope it's a joke anyway.
しかしシロ、私たちはともかく、さくらは大丈夫なのですか？あの苦しみようは尋常ではありませんでしたが。
However, Shirou, will Sakura be alright? The discomfort was rather considerable. Yeah, I thought so too. I took her temperature, but her fever wasn't actually that high. I just let her get a good night's rest for now, and see how she holds up.
そうですか。では、迷いなく戦いに赴けますね。
I see. Then we can go to battle without reservations. And look out towards the guest house. Sakura's room is on the second floor of the building. We need to leave and return to the house without her noticing. Let's go, Saber. From here on out, I'm a master. I won't think about anything else. I leave the house with Saber. The moon is high in the sky, and the darkness feels dense somehow. Up above, the clouds move quickly, perhaps due to the wind. Under the pale moonlight, peeking and disappearing beneath the clouds, we beat a swift pace to the enemy territory. An interlude. Oh. Oh. A high-pitched noise fills the air. A white blade clatters to the ground, scattering motes of light all around it, as it reflects the brilliant moonlight. Sticky blood coats his lips. A man falls to his knees on the stone steps, bidding farewell to his longsword as it sinks into the darkness. You will never pick up that sword again. Its coat is stained in blood. Its newly dyed threads making it resemble a gallant crimson flower. To think that I'd meet my end at the hands of some detestable fiend. The man's lips seem like white bone in contrast to the fresh blood spilling from his belly. The vital tremble of his life has already left his throat. Sasaki Kojiro's innards are already functioning as something else. The mountain gate is quiet. Neither the servant guarding it, nor the newly appeared shadow make a move. The battle is already over. Whatever just swiftly ascended the stone steps defeated the assassin. There was no time to cross blades or even acknowledge the enemy. Whatever it was a different dimension altogether. In a different dimension altogether. The gatekeeper's body tears. His torso is ripped apart without a weapon. The assassin cannot even end his own life. It walks steadily, surely. The shadow, lovingly or perhaps disdainfully, strokes the cheek of a servant called Assassin. A spidery, ghoulish arm erupts from his shredded torso. Bones entangle. Meat tears. He feels the organs and entrails that once belonged to him morph into something else. He fights the surge of blood that threatens to burst forth. The swordman swallows it down. A genial grin playing across his lips.
よかろう。好きにするがいい。所詮は我が腹より吐いてるもの。ろくな性根ではなかろうよ。
Very well. Do as you wish. Whatever is born from a belly can surely nothing be good. Eaten from within and deprived of a merciful death, he smiles. It's a valiant gesture. His lurid grin is even more fearsome than the birth of an abomination within him. And so, it is summoned. The thing born from a blood and entrails of a false servant is unmistakably an assassin. That's fucking creepy. Its birthing cries resemble the chitters of an insect. The insect that emerges from the shadows man's body greedily devours its womb. It cackles over its craves as it craves. Dawdles as it chews. With each bite of flesh, the dark insect becomes increasingly man-shaped, its unformed brain gaining human knowledge. The feast continues for half an hour. The new assassin supuriously slurps up every last drop of blood, celebrating its birth on now spotless stone steps. Its only witness are the surely shittering swarms of insects in the brushes, and the bright, voluminous moon. Moon. Sorry. The shrill birthing cries fade. It's an ill moon. The white skull sneers at the scorched black night. Well, you know who it is if there are a lot of bugs around, right? I walk up the stone steps. Saber is already armed. Both of us are tense, expecting an enemy to attack at any moment. The stairway up the mountain gate is long, and the breeze is presently warm, despite its being in the hills. According to Saber, this mountain has a barrier that repels servants. If they attempt to approach Ryo Temple by any other path besides the gate, the barrier hurts them and reduces their magical energy. Therefore, the only way into Ryo Temple is up these stairs. I was sure they tried to ambush us. You don't sense any servants, Saber?
ありません。
No,
この石段には私以外のサーバントは
I'm the only servant on these steps. Suddenly, Saber halts and looks down. Saber, what happened?
いいえ、私の気のせいでしょう。刀らしきものが見えた気がしましたが、そのようなものはどこにもない。
It must have been my imagination. I thought I saw something that resembles a katana, but there's nothing like that here.
この山門に守り手はいません。境内に向かいましょう。
The gate is unprotected. Let us go inside. Saber ascends the stone steps quickly. After a moment's confusion, I run after her. Inside, it's silent. The wind is strong. The shadows deep. It's terribly dark, even though the moon is out. I look up. The moon's out, alright. It glows brightly, illuminating the unlit temple grounds. Despite that, the area is engulfed in shadow. Saber.
ええ、様子がおかしい。ここまで踏み込んで反応がないなどありえません。それに、これは静かすぎる。
Yes, something is wrong. Lack of response to our entry is inconceivable. And it's too quiet. Let's look around inside. A family of almost 50 runs Ryodo Temple. There's no way it would be this quiet. I enter the temple with Saber. There's nobody around. After making sure the grounds are unoccupied, Saber and I head in deeper into the buildings. Saw that, right? Oh god. If you know, you know. Everybody inside is asleep. They show no sign of waking. They don't react even when I touch or pick them up. Every single one of them, the 50 or so monks, is in a coma. All of them lie in a pleasant, dreamlike sleep, breathing steadily. Of course, one of my classmates is among them. Issei Ryodo is asleep. I've only seen him so relaxed in a handful of occasions in the privacy of a student council office. We move quickly through the wood-floored hallways. Saber senses something. She directs us towards the inner main shrine. The master behind this disaster must be lurking there in the heart of the temple. We step into the main shrine. Suddenly, my eyes are greeted by the scarlet blood all over the floor. The center of the shrine is drenched in red. There's a man on the floor. There's a pool of red spreading out from him. Maybe he was stabbed through the chest. The wound is fatal. He lost too much blood to survive. He's already dead. He looks familiar, and he must be the master of a thing standing beside him. Oh. The servant stands there, staring down at her master's lifeless corpse. I'm assailed by a headache and an alarming unease. It isn't the gruesome scene that terrifies me, but that thing. That dagger is something bad. Saber doesn't seem to sense it, but somehow I can tell the power in that dagger is nothing good.
Caster!
Saber stands ready to fight. Caster, the purple-robed servant, doesn't react. Is it because we've caught her by surprise? Or because she was caught red-handed? Saber slightly crouches, ready to attack Caster in a breath. No, Saber, wait!
シロ、なぜ止めるのです。今置いてキャスターを撃つ機会は。
Why are you stopping me, Shirou? This is our chance to defeat Caster. No, don't touch that dagger. It destroys magecraft. It might sever the contract between master and servant.
では、キャスターは自らのマスターを。
Then, Caster, your master. We don't know for sure if she killed her master, but it's clear to me that the dagger in her hand is an incomparable incomparable ability to dispel magecraft effects.
キャスター貴様主に手をかけたな
Caster, you would slay your own master? Saber advances angrily. Caster turns to look at us. Her lifeless demeanor makes her look more brave than heroic spirit. A sword flashes through the air. Saber's sword splits Caster's robe, shredding her clothes as she awaits by bounding backwards.
精一そうとどめを刺しに来たというわけね。誰の筋書きだか知らないけど周到なこと。
Must be here to finish me off. I don't know who put you up to this. They are thorough.
黙れ主を裏切った者の言葉など聞きたくもない自らの行いを恥じここで裁かれるがいい
Silence. I don't want to hear the words of the one who betrays her lord.
私がマスターを殺した。宗一郎様を私が。
You think I killed my master? But I would hurt so, Shirou?
それは愉快ね。ええ、こんなことになるのなら本当にそうしてしまえばよかった。
How amusing. Yes, if I had known this would happen, perhaps I would have done it myself. She coughs blood as she laughs. The black-clad mage conceals the strange dagger under her robe and thrusts a hand at Saber.
目障りをセイバー。主もろとも消え去りなさい。
You're an eyesore, Saber. Disappear along with your master. There's nothing else to say. Watching Caster keenly, Saber swings her sword without hesitation. Caster fades away. Their clash couldn't even be called a fight. Caster may have outstanding magecraft, but it was completely inefficient against Saber's high magic resistance. Saber shrugged off Caster's barrage of spells and cut her down in a single blow.
キャスターは倒しましたマスター指示を
I have defeated Caster. Your orders, Master. Right. Well, there's nothing else to do here. I could call the hospital, or actually, I should let Kotomine take care of the rest. He should be able to help all the unconscious people. But there's no saving the dead man in front of us. Caster disappeared, leaving her master's body behind. His death will be buried in darkness. Tonight, he took his last breath, and one day he will disappear from people's memories. His final fate unknown.
シロ
I know. There are 4 more masters. I can't afford to freeze up here.
賢明です気持ちはわかりますが干渉は押しとどめてください
That is wise to say. If you understand, I understand how you feel. But please, try not to become sentimental. Saber turns her back on the shrine. I at least burn the side of a fallen corpse into my memories before I follow her. Huh? Wait. What was that?
シロどうしたのです足を止めて
Shirou, why did you stop? For a second it felt like we were being watched. Didn't you feel Saber?
いいえ何も感じませんでしたこの周囲に人がいないことは確認したはずですシロの気のせいではないですか
I did not sense anything. We have already checked the surroundings for other people. Are you sure you didn't just imagine it? Maybe. I bet you're right, Saber. Yeah, it was probably nothing.
では急ぎましょう。キャスターが倒れた今、昏睡していた人々も目を覚まします。私たちの姿を見られたら面倒だ。
And let's hurry. Now that Castor has fallen, her victims will begin to wake up. We should leave before we are sighted. She's right. It leaves a bad taste in my mouth, but this should put an end to the comas happening all over the city. I can chalk it up as a win, at least. Alright, let's leave the mountain and let Kotomina know. Then we go home and rest. Saber nods in satisfaction and leaves the shrine. I ignore the nagging tingling from behind me and follow Saber. All that remains in the shrine are the quiet and the quiet and the body of the former master. Another interlude. Hey. The lead actor exits the stage, leaving only a wordless corpse, and something consumes it. It leaves nobody. The wooden floor becomes a bottomless swamp, its crimson mass spreading out to consume the man's unmoving body. It takes not only the man, but the thing he used to command. The soul molded after the servants, Caster, falls to the black shadow. That is not how things should be. When a servant loses and disappears, it goes back to the Holy Grail. Something which violates this rule is subject to inevitably decay, no matter how powerful it is. Okay. Cries without a sound. In anguish, it bubbles and churns until it finally devours the first person. It talks? That thing did not talk in the anime adaptation, I believe. Now, it shuffles forward, like waves lapping on the shore. It has no voice to scream, so it expresses pain with its entire body. Not enough. It has no words, no emotions. From the beginning, it was never equipped with such functions. Not enough. And yet, it grieves. It laments its very being. Like something that has become aware of its own existence for the first time. Ooh. The clock strikes 2 a.m. A round trip to and from Yoda Temple took its toll on me. In spite of my daily training. Oh, right, Saber. Head back to your bedroom ahead of me.
どこに行くのです、シロ？今夜はもう休むのではないのですか？
Where are you going, Shirou? Thought you were going to rest tonight. I got a thing to do. I'll be right back, so don't worry. I'm tired too, so I want to turn in early tonight.
なるほど。さくらの容体が気になるのですね。
I see. You must be concerned about Sakura's condition. I mean, I should get her more water. Make sure you sleep in the room next to mine, alright? And close the door.
ああ、そうでしたね。同室でないのは不都合ですが、シローが強情を張るのではやむを得ません。言われた通り、 隣の部屋で待機しましょう。
Yes, I will. It's inconvenient not to be in the same room, but if you insist, then I'll do so. I'll be standing by in the room next to yours. Taylor looks displeased. I'm not the only one who was being stubborn. I return to my bedroom, tortured by self-loathing. 3 AM. What have I been doing for the past hour? I sigh. There's only one reason I took so long. Sakura wasn't sleeping very well, so I spent time getting her more water and putting her covers back on. It was an indescribably taxing job, in more ways than one. I should have blindfolded myself. That would have made it easier. Actually, I had my eyes closed almost the entire time, so it wouldn't have made much difference. Not once did I give in to the temptation and open them until my work was done. And for bed. Just go to sleep. That's all I need to do. I cover my head with the sheets and drive out the invasive thoughts. Once I close my eyes, my mind goes blank. See? Being this physically tired will help me fall asleep faster. It's red. At sunset, the cityscape seems dyed red. It reminds me of a bench covered in posters. Everything my feet and hands touch makes a warm, squelching sound. I continue down the asphalt road. When I look up, buildings are dyed crimson. The steep wall seems like a giant nails hammered from the skies to the earth. I can't run, the red sun declares, gazing down from the heavens. I walk alone through the streets. Shinto is dead quiet. Maybe everyone's hiding in wait, or perhaps there was never anyone here to begin with. Still, it hurts. The scarlet glow torments my eyeballs and makes me dizzy. It's too empty out here. Am I the only one who missed some mass evacuation order? That would explain all the red. I should go home. It's waiting for me. Is that Tosaka? Even from afar, I can tell it's her. Hey, Tosaka. She ignores me. She walks, her swaying hair long enough to touch the ground. Is she wearing her uniform? And she must be on the way to school. I run after her. Tosaka doesn't notice me. The gap between us doesn't shrink at all. She keeps walking, while I keep running, gradually fall even farther behind. I have a way. Tosaka isn't walking at a particular brisk pace. I'm running enough to breathe a little heavily, but she's still faster. The long-haired girl enters the school. Like a fluttering butterfly. I have a way. There's no one on campus. It's empty, unoccupied. The red-lit landscape is like a well-made candy diorama. If the twilight glows grows any stronger, it will make them beyond recognition. I have a way. I hear a girl laughing. Two young girls smile and play with each other. I see a vision of two beautiful sisters, so perfect for each other, they might as well be twins. I open the door and enter the classroom. Dive away. Why was I following her for no reason? Doesn't surprise me, nor do I feel any guilt. The two of them embrace each other like lovers. It's enough to make me doubt that they are both girls. Against this crimson backdrop, what they are doing seems only proper. But if there's one thing I'm curious about, is that Mitsuri's arms hang limply at her side, like those of a corpse. I was wrong. That isn't a hug. It's a meal. The praying mantis feeds on the butterfly. It giddily drains its prey of life. Mitsuri is like a wax model. With each second, her vitality is drained away. Tosaka's eyes are warm and whimsical. Her face approaches Mizuzuki's neck. She exposes Mitsuri's defenseless pale throat. Then, Tosaka's lips. No, her teeth. Her wax-modeled chest arches in tension. I try to go over and help her, but I may as well be waddling through a swamp. I will never make it in time. I simply watch as Tosaka purrs while she drinks, as Mitsuri goes weak at the knees. She licks her fingers. Her wet tongue seductively slithers around her fingers. It's too alluring. I feel like I'm drowning in the thick air around her. Tosaka giggles, licking her fingers. A wet sound tickles my ears.
よかった。来てくれたのね、エミヤ君。
I'm glad you came, Emiya. Her voice sounds so sticky and expectant. I'm so dizzy. It's like I'm inside a kaleidoscope. My mind is paralyzed, to say nothing of my limbs. Oh, I should mention. I've long since lost control over my body.
どうしたの？私のことが怖い？エミヤ君。
What's wrong? Are you afraid of me, Emiya? I can't even move my head to respond. Her smile is irresistibly bewitching. It's so terrifying. I feel like I'll be caught and killed. I'm a winged insect caught in a spider's web. I can neither fight nor flee.
美味しかったわ、綾子は。
Ayako was delicious. So she was eating after all. But still, why? Mitsuri?
だってあなたを待つ間我慢できなかったんだもの。
I just couldn't take the hunger while I was waiting for you. The light seeps into her giggles. Tosaka's hand reaches out. For some reason, I imagine her slender, supple arms coiling around my body like a snake. A sweet scent envelops me, dominates my lungs.
次はあなたの番よ。
You're next. Tosaka's limbs wrap around me. A soft feminine body drowns out the blaring alarm on my head. I feel like I'm crumbling in her embrace. She brings her face close enough for our lips to touch. Her wet eyes invite me in. Her breath is so thick, I'm going to suffocate in it.
今度はエミヤ君を食べてあげる。
Now I'm going to eat you, Emiya. Tosaka's lips touch me, nibbling the side of my neck. They're warm and damp. My mind melts like candy under their tender touch. Sharp fangs pierce my skin. Tosaka's biting me. The teeth sink into my neck, just like with Mitsuri. There's no pain. I've heard that spiders anesthetize their prey before killing them. Yeah. They paralyze them. With the numbness also comes ecstasy. The sucking lips and teeth feel so good. It's like I'm melting. My neck softly melts. Each time Tosaka drains a mouthful of me, I feel my body turns into candy. My insides are being sucked out and replaced with honey that makes my body melt. It seeps into my bones, muscles and skin. It folds my throat. And I can't even moan. It flows down from my neck, an unbelievable sensation beguiling me. Tosaka's shoulders tremble in ecstasy as she drinks from my neck. She looks so pleased by the meal of red blood. My consciousness is coated in a messy, overlapping carpet of vertigo. Before I know it, I've stopped breathing, and my body is being drained before I can't even reach my brain. In return, Tosaka's sweet, strong liquid invades my body.
おいしい。
Delicious. She nibbles at me. I hear a voice that doesn't belong. The voice numbs my melting brain.
暑いわね、エミヤ君。
You're so hot, Emiya. She whispers, drinking me dry. A pump empties me out from the inside. In return, pleasure saturates my body, melting and turning it limp.
新鮮な血。息がよくってピチピチして。
Fresh, youthful blood is so tasty and full of life. I'm at my limit. I have nothing else to give. My arteries are bone dry. I don't think I have even a drop of blood left to spare.
もっとまだ足りない。
Oh, it's still not enough. She continues to drink. There shouldn't be anything left to drink, but I still hear Tosaka gulping. It's as if my life itself is being converted into blood. It makes sense, and this meal isn't quite over yet. She keeps drinking and drinking. In the crimson-lit classroom, she drains me without end. Her body melts beyond recognition, fading to oblivion as she sucks it all up.
素敵よ、エミヤ君。あなたならこのまま全部もらってあげる。
You're wonderful, Emiya. Take all of you. A woman's voice reverberates in my mind. Far away, desiccated, while she whispers. So, that was the day. Ja, We have to delete a save file. Or overwrite one, I mean. So, you didn't notice it probably? I had, well, my PC turned off. Luckily I was able to recover recording, and I started off in the middle of that scene. I didn't want to ruin the mood, because that was quite something. Yeah. Let's continue for some time more on the next day. Probably in a dream again. It's hot. How did this happen? I tucked myself in, closed my eyes, and said goodnight. But the next thing I knew, everything was red. It's hot. Mom woke me up before the noise did. It was so bright, even though it was still nighttime. Dad picked me up and ran down the burning hallway. It's hard to breathe. I heard Mom's voice behind me. She told Dad not to go on his own. He ruffled my hair and told me to wait outside. I nodded and did what he said. It hurts. Outside was the same as inside. Everyone was all red. My eyes hurt. So I closed my eyes and ran, trying to find somewhere that wasn't so hot. When I turned back to look, my house was already gone. It must be punishment for not following directions. My eyes hurt. Cry while I walk. I know I have to go home and wait. I don't know where home is anymore. Stop covering my face with my hand and look up. I come face to face with all for the first time. Dawn is burning in the distance. The fire won't go out. It's too late to change it now. This all happened 10 years ago. The flames burning far away, so distant, not physically, but in time. So hot. My skin hurts. My throat burns with every breath. My body creaks with each movement of life. When I turn to run away, my ankles twist, caught up on something heavy like shackles. Even as a child, I somehow intuit that the death of everyone around me is dragging my life self down with them. It's still hot. I claw at my throat, my nails scratching it red. Each breath I suck in inflicts stabbing pain onto my burdened esophagus. I will stop working, and my brain begins to steam in my skull. Why? It's hot. It's hot, so hot. Hot, hot, hot. I remember. This is hot. Awfully hot. But it's cold. Terribly cold. Past the boiling point and back to freezing temperature. My burning blood has already hardened and stopped. Everything I see is backwards. It's hot. So it's cold. That's why it's so hot. I'm losing my mind. However, what was the cause of it all? The black sun in the sky. Didn't feel especially strange to me that the sun was out at night, or that it was black. After all, everything was crazy. Felt normal next to everything that was going on. Yet I ran away. So scared. The fire around me wasn't scary. Compared to the black shadow, getting burned to death felt only human, only natural. So I ran. I knew that if it caught me, I would it would take me someplace even scarier. I look up at the sky in a daze. I know it'll rain eventually, and I slowly lower my unpraised hand. Slowly I open my eyelids. Not quite fully awake, I stare at my bedroom in a daze. Dream, huh? Still lying on my back, I feel relief. How many years has it been since I woke up from a dream feeling relieved? But it was such a clear dream. I murmur out loud, still feeling the heat on my cheeks. A long time ago, this nightmare used to haunt me and make me cry out at night. It happened 10 years ago. The memories were still fresh back then. Every time I went to sleep, I would find myself wandering in that inferno. I never imagined that I'd forget about it, especially while I was in a dream. When I fell asleep, it would all become real again. The sky that day, the burnt odor in the air, the inescapable wall of fire. Even now I think that hasn't changed. But it isn't as raw anymore. With time, wounds heal and memories dull. Over the last few years, all I really see when I dream about the fire is the color red. Why would it become back again in vivid detail, even down to the smell of ash in the air, after all this time? And what was that? I don't know what the thing was. How do I remember it? In fact, I didn't even see it. I want to throw up. Just thinking about it makes me dizzy. A circuit breaker flips in my body and tells me not to think about it any further. I should get up, wash my face. I'm drenched in sweat because of a nightmare. I don't want my sheets to soak it up and get all gross, because my brain is in a fog. Wait, what? Arms feel sluggish. In fact, I can't put any strength into them. I can't even get up. Wait, what the hell? Damn it, even talking is a challenge. I slowly bring my head to my face and realize it's pretty warm. Hand to my face. Wow, did I catch a cold too? That's a surprise. This is the first time I've ever caught a cold. Wow. I've lost count of the number of times I've been battered and bruised, but there's never gotten a common cold before. I've never gotten a common cold before. Maybe that's why I had the dream. I'm burning up, so I was burning in my dreams too. Yeah, that makes sense. I can't think straight, so it's a little wonder I have a dream or two. What am I lying around for? Wait, how? I frantically sit up. When I check under the covers, this is hardly the time to be worrying about feeling sluggish or tired. If anything happened, then I need to run to the bathroom in the morning and destroy the evidence. My first priority is to purify myself and then exercise my right to silence. To be frank, Shirou's stock in the Emmy household is in free fall. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Thank God. My entire body is drenched in sweat. but there isn't really anything else off about it. It was a dream, right? Yeah. It was that kind of dream. There's no way I went to school while I was asleep. And I've never done anything that crazy with Tosaka. My subconsciousness went there all on its own. After all, I'm still in the clothes I was wearing when I went to bed. And Saber's been in the room next door the entire time. Yeah, Saber would have noticed if I went outside. I sigh in palpable relief. At once, the tension drains from my body, and I dramatically fall back onto the floor.
シロ、どうしました？今音がしたようですが。
Shirou? I just heard a noise. Is something wrong? I hear Saber's voice behind the sliding door. See? Even that was enough to get her attention. So it had to be a dream. Yep, a dream. It was absolutely positively a dream. If it wasn't, then I don't know how I'll look at Tosaka in the eyes ever again.
シロ、
Shirou? Hey, good morning, Saber.
どうしたのです、シロ。横になったまま挨拶をするなど、あなたらしくもない。
What's the matter? It's not like you to greet someone while lying down. Oh, I just woke up in a state I didn't expect. Saber looks puzzled. Now, I'm thanking my lucky stars. It was only a dream, but now I have to confront a different trial. I feel slow and I can't even stand up. So how am I supposed to make breakfast?
37度6分。シローが風邪ひくなんて珍しいわね。
37.6 degrees. It's pretty unusual for you to catch a cold, Shirou. She casually gives me a diagnosis. Oh, gives my diagnosis. Thermometer in one hand. I already figured that was the case, so it doesn't come to a surprise. But a cold would make me feel this heavy, huh?
それで痛いとこ他にある？喉が痛いとか頭痛いとか。
Does it hurt anywhere else? Like your throat or your head? No, not really. My body just feels all heavy and hot. Is that weird?
痛いところがないんならその方がいいかな。
I think that's a better sign than actual pain.
けどシローは我慢しちゃう子だから気づいてないだけかもしれないか。念のため他の薬も用意しとく。
Oh, but you're a tough kid, so maybe you don't even notice the discomfort. Okay, I'll get you some medicine just in case. Usually take some cold medication and cough drops out of the first aid box. He's an old hand at patching up lacerations and the like, but it looks like she isn't used to treating illness like this. Thanks, Sujine. And sorry, I don't think I can make breakfast.
バカなこと言ってないの。シローと朝ごはん、どっちが大切だと思ってんのよ。セイバーちゃんが呼んでくれたからよかったものの、いつも通りご飯作ってたら本当に雷落としたんだから。
Don't be stupid. Which do you think is more important, breakfast or your health? I'm glad Saber called me over. If you'd gone and and cooked as usual, I would have been really pissed off. She growls in sincere anger. She's right, obviously. Look at Saber making that satisfied face. I did a good job.
それとご飯なら心配いらないからね。さくらちゃんがお粥作ってくれたからお腹が減ったら食べなさい。
Don't worry about food. Sakura made okayahu, rice porridge. So eat. Better if you're hungry. Sakura made porridge? She must be feeling better then. Sakura, are you doing okay? You seemed in an even worse shape than me yesterday.
はい、ちゃんと熱は引きましたから
心配はいりません。
Yes, my fever is down, so you don't need to worry about me.
夜も怖くなかったし、ぐっすり眠れちゃいました。これも先輩が見てくれたおかげです。
Managed to sleep well. It's all thanks to you keeping me company, so I wasn't scared. Oh, that's good. I thought it would take longer, but I'm relieved that it took her only a night to recover.
そっか、忘れてた。昨日はさくらちゃんが風邪ひいてたんだ。
That's why she made that face. Oh yeah, I totally forgot. Sakura caught a cold yesterday too. Yeah, so... I don't like that look on your face, so stop whatever you're about to say.
もしかしてシロー、さくらちゃんの風邪がうつるような真似しちゃったの？
Shirou, did you try to transfer Sakura's cold over? What? Why would I do that?
あれ？わからない？さくらちゃんの熱は下がってるんでしょ？ならシローがなんかしたんじゃないの？昔から風邪は人にうつすと治るって言うし。
Oh, you don't get it? Sakura's fever is down, right? So maybe you did something. It's long been said that people get better from a cold when they pass it down to someone else. Look at Sakura, not understanding. Oh. Finally I realize what Fujini is running her mouth off about. You idiot, I only went over to take her temperature and give her medicine. You're not allowed to make any more of her jokes. It's rude to Sakura. I feel myself blushing furiously. I imagine my 37-degree fever just climbed to 38.
なんてね、わかってるわよ、そんなの。シローにはそんな解消ないもんね。
Just kidding. I know that you're silly. You aren't clever enough for that. That kinda annoys me too. But it's fine as long as that's cleared up.
よしよし。それじゃ、欠席届は出しとくから、今日はゆっくり休んでること。セイバーちゃん、シローをよろしくね。
Good boy. I have a school excuse your absence, so take it easy today. Saber, would you mind taking care of Shirou?
この子ほっとくと何でもしちゃうから、布団に縛り付けておいて。
There's no telling what he'll get up to, so tie him up in bed if you have to.
元よりそのつもりです。シロが起き出さぬよう監視をし、食事を与えればいいのですね。
I already intend to do so. I will keep a watchful eye on Shirou to make sure he doesn't get up. Should I also feed him?
なんか物騒な言い回しだけど、間違ってないからいっか。
Oh.
セイバーちゃん、その通りにお願い。
Oh, that's a little intense, but it works for me. Thanks, Saber. Saber nods. Is it just me, or did I just get a vague feeling of danger?
じゃあ、セイバーちゃんの言うことちゃんと聞いて、私たちが帰ってくるまでおとなしくしてるのよ。夕ご飯は精のつくもの買ってきてあげるから、それまでに体を治しておくこと。
So, you listen to whatever Saber says, and behave until I've come back. I'll buy you something for dinner that will give you some energy. So you need to let yourself rest and recover. Eugenie nods with a smile at the impossible mission she has given me. Behind her, Sakura looks downcast. She looks like she wants to say something that's weighing on her mind.
行ってきまーす。お土産期待しててねー。
We're leaving. Look forward to the souvenirs. Eugenie waves goodbye and leaves for work. I see Fujini off, then go back to bed. All I did was go from my bedroom to a porch. But the effort made me so short of breath I collapsed right back into bed. My fever isn't that high, but evidently I'm physically exhausted. Fujin is right. I won't be able to do much until I recover my strength in bed. When Sakura comes to my room, even though it's already past 7:30. Sakura, it's already 7:30. Shouldn't you leave before you're late for school? Sakura awkwardly avoids meeting my gaze. Just as I notice that she's making the same expression as earlier, when she looked like she wanted to say something.
先輩、私ここに残っちゃいけませんか？
Senpai, can I stay here? She looked up and asked me a question. She means staying home from school, right? Oh, do you still have a fever?
いえ、熱はもう引いてます。ただ、
Oh, my fever is down. I just... She hesitates, like it's hard to say. She does still look pale, and it isn't reasonable to expect her to fully recover overnight, after how bad she looked yesterday. Right, you had a cold too, but are you sure? You need to get your absence excused?
はい。ズルしちゃおうかなって。
I'm sure. I was thinking about playing hooky. She means skipping class by pretending to be sick? Hi, you actually have a cold, so it isn't lying? If you have a fever, you should sleep in your room.
ですから、私の体はいいんです。
I'm saying that I feel fine. I understand even less now. What's Sakura trying to say?
そのですね、先輩が風邪をひいたのって私のせいだと思うんです。
Well, I think it's my fault that you've caught a cold. Hey, don't just take what Fujini says at face value. That's not what happened. I've been going out for late night walks lately, so it's my own fault.
それでもいいんです。私は元気で、昨日のお礼というか、先輩の看病がしたいので、ズルしちゃいたいんです。
But still, I feel fine, so I'm going to play hooky. Thank you for yesterday. Apparently Sakura feels responsible for my illness. If I'm being honest, I would feel better having her around. Saber needs to sleep, and it would be easier for me if Sakura could prepare the medicine.
先輩?
Senpai? Okay then. I'm counting on you, Sakura.
そうですよね。先輩にはセイバーさんがいるし、私が残っても何も。
Of course, I know you have Saber, so you don't need...
先輩?
Wait, what? I'm asking you to take care of me.
私ですよね。
You mean me, right? Yeah, Sarah's still jet-lagged, so she sleeps during the day. I know it's pathetic of me to ask, but I'd appreciate it if you could make me lunch today.
はい。
Okay.
私、精一杯頑張りますね、先輩。
I'll do my best, Senpai. Sakura's expression transformed into a sunny smile, her earlier nervousness gone. Yeah. The smile looks better on her face. Time passes. It's now 10 AM. I feel much better since eating Sakura's porridge. The sluggishness I felt this morning is gone. It doesn't impede my movement, and I think I could go to school if I wanted. However, I wonder if this wasn't a cold after all. Maybe the result of serious malnutrition. This is I make go to bed. This is I make it get out of bed. Sorry.
ダメです。先輩、熱が下がるまで絶対安静ですからね。
No, don't. You need to rest until your fever's gone down, senpai. Sakura rushes over and pushes me down. And Sakura seems so enthusiastic she made me breakfast, and I still feel pretty slow, so I decided to stay lying down. After feeding me okayu, she leaves, saying she has something else to do. Saber is resting in the living room. She was kneeling in a corner of my room until just earlier, but it was making me nervous, so I asked her to move to the living room. She protested naturally, but I convinced her to take up a different guard pose just for today.
失礼します。お体の調子はどうですか、先輩?
Pardon me, how are you feeling, senpai? A lot better. Thanks to you, I still feel slow, but my fever is coming down.
よかった。それじゃあもうお薬はいりませんね。あとは美味しいものを食べてゆっくり休んでいれば安心です。
I'm glad to hear that. You don't need to need medicine anymore then. I make you something good to eat, so just take it easy. Sakura goes into the room next door and brings out a new futon. What are you doing, Sakura?
何って新しいお布団ですよ。先輩はずっと汗をかいてたんですから、そろそろ変えないといけないかなって。
Giving you a new futon. We were sweating all night, so I thought you'd need a change of bedding. She lays out the futon next to mine, patting it flat in a practice motion. To my surprise, there isn't any dust at all.
はい、用意できました。どうぞ先輩、こちらに移ってください。あ、その前に着替えですね。私はお布団を干してきますから、新しい寝巻きに着替えておいてください。
Here it is. Go ahead and change beds, senpai. Oh, but you should change clothes first. I hang your futon out to dry, so please change into these fresh pajamas. After the futon, Sakura brings out a stack of clean sleepwear. Such flawless nursing. This goes beyond mere experience or thoughtfulness. It's a genetic skill. It's gotta be backed into your DNA.
先輩、何か言いました？
What did you say, senpai? It's inappropriate, I know, but I'm glad you stayed home for school today. It's like I'm seeing a brand new side of you, to be honest.
当然ですよ。もうじき1年半ですからね。先輩のお家のことはちゃんと分かっているんです。
But of course, it's already been a year and a half, so I know everything about your house. Sakura proudly puffs out her chest. Confidence and positivity feels infectious. Alright, then take care of a bed. I'll be a good patient and follow orders.
布団を干し終わったらリンゴ剥いてきますから期待して待っていてくださいね。
You can count on me. I peel some apples for you once I hang up the futon, so look forward to it. Sakura goes into a hallway, carrying the futon I have been sleeping in. Oh, she took everything with her. Impressed by her high spirits, I changed into the pajamas she brought me. Now then, I dry myself off with a towel, change into a clean pajama and obediently get back to bed to wait for Sakura. How long is it all taking, I wonder? Sakura peels me an apple as promised. I enjoy snacking on it and...
もう無理は禁物ですよ先輩。
Senpai, I said not to push yourself. She scolds me even though I feel better now, so I lie back down. So Saber helped you?
何もしていないのも疲れるからっておかげで客間のお掃除もできて助かりました。
Yes. And she said she was tired of doing nothing, so she saved me the trouble of cleaning the guest room. I'd like to see Saber bringing out some washcloths. So she pushed a washcloth up and down the hallway?
はい、2人で一緒に頑張りました。セイバーさん、これはこれで参考になるなんてことを言ってましたけど。
Yes, we both worked hard, so Saber said that she learned a lot. Sakura smiles, looking slightly troubled. She might have gotten used to Saber, but she still seems to be getting used to dealing with her. Okay, anyway, good work. But don't work too hard. You're still recovering too. It's already a lot of effort just to take care of me, so you don't need to worry about cleaning too.
そんなことありません。ここで朝を過ごして夕方もご飯を食べさせてもらっているんです。ならお掃除をするのは当然ですよ。私だってその。
That isn't true. I spent the morning here, and I'm going to feed you dinner too. It only makes sense that I clean while taking care of you. After all,
この家の一員なんですから。
I'm part of his family too. Sakura mumbles under her breath, not wanting to sound rude by wishing it was true. It's right. You, Fujini and me, we're like family.
先輩。
Sorry for keeping you at a distance. If you're family, then it's only normal for you to take care of one another. For us to take care of one another. And now I'd look after you if you collapsed. No matter how awkward it would make you feel. So I'm the one being silly for trying not to impose. I apologize. The conversation stops. After a moment's surprise, during which Sakura held her breath.
はい。分かってもらえたのならいいです。先輩はちょっと人のことを大切にしすぎだと思います。
Yes, I'm glad you know that. I think you're a little overprotective of people sometimes. He smiles happily and straightens out my sheets for me. It made me realize something finally. How beautiful this house is. The reason we have been tending to the unused rooms without even really thinking about it. How lively and lived in it feels. Just like when my old man was still around. My underclassman at school. My friend's little sister. That's what Sakura was to me when we first met. But she's been protecting this home even more than I have. For the last year and a half, the days were truly peaceful. I took it for granted so much that I never noticed. Sakura brought me and Fujini something that we never could have obtained on our own. Absently, I look at Sakura. Maybe it's because I still have a slight fever, or because Sakura looks so happy taking care of me. When I see her smile, it warms me up inside and makes me sleepy. I'm pretty sleepy. It feels nice. I feel bad for sleeping until lunchtime. But for now, I think I close my eyes and...
けど先輩、私は先輩のそういうところが大好きです。
But Senpai, that's what I love about you. Huh? I think she just said something that would send my heart aflutter. Sakura?
先輩、起きてたんですか？
You were awake? Sakura backs away from me in a panic. If she reacts like that, it only makes me blush. In fact, I'm worried I'm going to spike another fever. Sakura.
何も言ってません。私、何も言ってませんから。顔を覗き込んだのはですね。熱、そう、熱を測ろうって思ったんです。
I didn't say anything, nothing at all. I was just watching your face because of your fever. Yeah, I was about to take your temperature. She hastily takes out the thermometer and looms over me.
先輩、体温計です。熱を測りますから、加えてください。
Senpai, this is the thermometer. I'm going to take your temperature, so open your mouth. Thermometer inches frettingly towards me. Its holder losing her composure. I feel something squishy. It only brushed me, but it was Sakura's chest. Oh. My brain reaches its boiling point. Sanity begins to crack under the strain of forbidden memories bringing back to mind, and the sensation of all that, of all an all too real female. Wait, Sakura, time out. I make a last-ditch effort to roll out of bed. My body slides out of the futon. My first priority is to get away from away from Sakura. What is happening?
先輩、お熱を測りたいんですけど。
Senpai, I want to check your fever. I'm fine, I can do it myself, so stop right there.
先輩がそういうのでしたらいいですけど。
If you say so.
はい、それじゃあ体温計。
Here is the thermometer. No, not right now. Just give me a minute to calm down. If you get any closer, it'll remind me of last night's dream and I die. I make a stop sign gesture. My face beat red. But
昨日の夢ですか？
last night's dream? Must be acting really weird because Sakura suddenly gives me a dubious look. I had a bad nightmare. I'm trying not to think about it, so I need to stay over there. Just saying. But you didn't do anything wrong. I'm the one who lacks training.
はあ、修行不足ですか？
Training, you say? Sakura watches me vacantly. Anyone would after hearing something like that.
先輩、その夢、一体どんな夢だったんですか？
Senpai, what kind of dream was it? Okay, I can answer that. It was no big deal, just a bad dream.
先輩、
Sakura's eyes become concerned. I can lie to her, but I also can tell her the truth. So Play it off somehow, I won't lie. Ooh. I think I'm just not going to lie. I mean, is he going to tell everything that happened? I won't lie. There's no helping it now. Tell her the facts without giving away too much.
先輩、誰が出てきたんですか？
Senpai, who was in your dream? Well, only one there was Tosaka. She immediately lures me into spilling the beans.
そうですか。そういえば、この前ここに来たんでしたっけ？遠坂先輩。
See, Tosaka Senpai did come over before, didn't she? Yeah, she just gave me some first aid and left right away after.
わかりました。それじゃあ体温計、ここに置いていきますね。
I understand. I'll leave the thermometer here then. Sakura sets the thermometer down on the floor, walks to the bedroom door, with heavy steps.
お昼の支度がありますから、失礼します。支度が済んだら呼びに来ますから、それまで休んでいてください。
I'm off to make lunch now. Come get you when it's ready, so please rest until then. She shuts the door with a soft thud. The sound of her departing footsteps feels colder than usual. Thank you for the meal. Thanks for the meal. You mutually thank our cook.
お粗末様でした。先輩もセイバーさんも綺麗に食べてくれましたね。
I'm glad you both enjoyed it. You really ate everything down to the last speck. Sakura starts cleaning up. On the dining table are a clay pot, 3 bowls, and the garnishes you would need for udon. Oh, let me clean up. My fever is better, so it's the least I can do.
そうですか。それじゃあ体力検査ということでお願いしちゃいますね。洗い物は私がやりますから、先輩は食器運びとテーブル周りの後片付けをやっちゃってください。
Really? Can I ask you to help a little to see how much you have recovered? I can wash the dishes, so please bring the dirty dishes over and clean up around the table. Sakura puts on her apron and moves to the kitchen. I bring the clay pot and bowls over, then...
シロ、体は大丈夫なのですか？熱は下がったと聞きましたが、顔色はまだ悪いではないですか？
Shirou, are you feeling alright? You said your fever has improved, but you still don't look well. Am I still pale?
いえ、青いというのではなく、悪いのです。
Not quite pale, but unwell.
マスター、魔術師にとって生命線ともいえる魔力が不足している。昨夜の戦闘では、シローに負担をかけた覚えはありませんが、あの境内そのものに魔力を吸い上げる仕掛けがあったのかもしれません。
Magic energy, which could be said is your lifeline as a master, as a mage, is still lacking. I don't recall the battle last night placing an undue burden on you, but the enemy might have placed some contrivances to drain your energy in the temple grounds. Now that she mentions it, the temple did feel off somehow. All the people inside were weakened, so maybe Cass set up a bonded field to drain life energy from humans inside. I'm feeling better now, so it's no problem. My magic energy will come back if I get nutrition. My energy capacity isn't much to sneeze at anyway, so I'm sure it will fill back up once I eat dinner.
当事者であるあなたがそう言うのならこれ以上追求しませんが、まったくさくらの言う通りです。シローはどうも自分のことをないがしろにしている節がある。
You know yourself best, so I won't press the issue, if you say so. Sakura's right though. You do take your own condition too lightly. Saber stacks the 3 bowls while saying that.
さくらに渡せばいいのですね。そちらの鍋も私が運びますから、シローはテーブルを拭いていてください。
I just need to give these to Sakura, yes? I also carry the pot, so please clean the table, Shirou. She heads to the kitchen without waiting for me to reply.
さくら、食器はここに。
Sakura, should I put the bowls here?
あれ、セイバーさん。はい。洗い物はそこに置いといてください。
Oh, Saber? Yes, you can set the dirty dishes down there.
なるほど。それとさくら、先ほどの昼食は美味でした。朝に続いて感謝します。
I see. Also, lunch was delicious. Must thank you again.
私なんてまだまだです。おかゆとおうどんは先輩の独壇場ですからね。
You still have a lot to learn. Senpai is the one who's really good at making porridge and udon noodles. I hear a cheerful conversation from the kitchen. Hey, those two get along pretty well after all. Maybe they hit it off when they were cleaning up after breakfast. Anyway, it's good to see them get along. Guess I make some afternoon tea then. Place a small teapot and tea leaves on the table. It's almost 1 o'clock. It's a perfect time for an after lunch break. I go out shopping. I have a snack. I relax in front of the TV. Considering the time, I think I leave that choice to the start of the next episode. Because, well, a lot has already happened in that this episode, and I don't want to really change the mood this episode has any further, because I think it's going to turn into a, well, more lighthearted bit now. So, thank you for watching, and it's been me, Shokimo, and I will see you in the next episode, where we continue our story, and I will probably go to the shopping district, maybe to meet Ilya or something like that. So, until then, bye bye, see you next time.